So Rob, we're at the UK Groundwater Forum Communicating Groundwater Workshop. What sort of feedback have you got from this morning's session?
Well, Mike, I think one of the things I took from the talks this morning was the fact that by working together we were able to get the messages around drought and the implications of drought and the impacts on consumers and stakeholders, that message across consistently. And ultimately those messages then will be consistent in the way that the media were communicating as well. So there wasn't really the opportunity to get mixed messages. So it was actually a good situation for hydrogeology really, in groundwater, just to raise awareness.
So we're with Pauline Smith of the Environment Agency. Pauline, what are your thoughts after the morning session here at the UK Groundwater Forum Conference?
A couple of things. One, very much my view that by working together and sharing messages we are able to communicate a lot more powerfully with a wider range of people. But the other thing that's really come across to me from this morning is that in a number of different ways we've still got a gap in how we communicate between what people see in terms of the water coming out of their tap and how it gets there, its relationship with the environment. So more work for us to do on that front.
I'm with Oliver Pattenden from McDonald. What are your thoughts, Oliver, on the workshop today?
I think it's been an excellent day of sort of learning skills and communication, which are sort of cross-curricular. They're not just applicable to groundwater. I think a lot of the ideas of making messages simple and knowing your audience are applicable across business. And what's been very, very interesting, I've worked overseas quite a lot in the last year, and I found it very interesting sort of people's different ideas of how to communicate, things like conceptual models, and trying to make things simple and easy for your audience.
I'm with Rob Ward from the British Geological Survey. So Rob, what are your thoughts of the day so far?
Well, Mike, I think it's been a fantastic day. We've tried something different with the forum conference by engaging more with the participants, and it's worked tremendously well because the level of discussion has been fantastic. And I've attended some of the workshops, the mini round table workshops, and I've learned a huge amount by just participating in those, and it's just been very, very, just fantastic just listening to the enthusiasm coming from the people around the table. So I think as we come to the end of the day, there'll be some very good lessons that we can take forward and some ideas we can take forward to continue to raise awareness of groundwater.
Okay, so I'm with Andrew Stone from the American Groundwater Trust. So Andrew, what lessons do you think we can pick up in the UK from the States?
Well, I think the United States has so many different environments of geology that we've got everything that you have in terms of groundwater issues and groundwater problems. Basically, the laws of physics are the same on both sides of the Atlantic. The social issues are the same, and the costs of supplying water are very similar. We can all learn a lot from each other. There's a lot happening in the United States at federal, state and local level. We need to talk more amongst ourselves. There's a lot I can learn from you, and I think there's a lot that you can learn from what's happening in the United States.
So I'm with Ben Sansom. What would you take away from the day in terms of key messages then?
I think one of the key things I found was actually seeing people's experience, communicating with media, and actually learning from that experience on actually how to simplify scientific principles. We all get very much carried away by our own technical subject, and actually conveying that excitement and interest into a way where the general public can actually understand what you're saying is something that I think we can all improve upon, and that we can take away some really good lessons learned today.